Once there lived a young boy in a small, peaceful village surrounded by green fields and tall mountains. The boy, named Ethan, was cheerful and kind-hearted, but he had a habit that held him back: he procrastinated. No matter how hard his parents or teachers tried to motivate him, Ethan would always delay his work. His classmates had already started excelling in their studies and moving ahead, but Ethan lagged behind. One sunny afternoon, Ethan was sitting under an old oak tree by the riverbank, lost in his thoughts. He was frustrated with himself, thinking about how far his friends had come while he remained stuck in the same place. Suddenly, he noticed an old man walking toward him. The man had a long white beard, deep, kind eyes, and carried an air of wisdom. The old man approached Ethan and asked gently, "Why do you look so troubled, young one?" Ethan hesitated at first but then poured his heart out. "I don't know what's wrong with me," he admitted. "I always plan to study or do something meaningful, but then I tell myself I'll do it later. That later never comes, and now I feel like I'm falling behind everyone. I don't even know where to start anymore." The old man nodded thoughtfully and sat down beside him. "Let me tell you a story," he began. "Once, there was a farmer who had a beautiful field ready for planting. Every day, he looked at the field and thought, 'I'll plant the seeds tomorrow.' Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. By the time he finally decided to plant the seeds, the season had passed, and the ground had hardened. He lost the chance to grow anything that year and went hungry." Ethan listened intently, and the old man continued. "Time is like that planting season. It's always moving, and if you don't use it wisely, you lose it forever. The field represents your potential. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll find that life has moved ahead without you." Ethan frowned, realizing the truth in the old man's words. "But how do I stop procrastinating? It feels so hard to start." The old man smiled and placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Start small," he advised. "Do one thing today that you've been putting off. It doesn't have to be big, just take the first step. Then, tomorrow, take another step. Over time, you'll find that those small actions add up to big changes." He then pointed to the river flowing gently before them. "Do you see this river? It never stops flowing. Even the tiniest drops of water, over time, can carve through the hardest rock. Be like the river. Keep moving forward, no matter how small the step." Ethan felt a spark of determination ignite within him. He thanked the old man and promised himself that he would take action. That very evening, he picked up his books and started studying, even though it was just for a short while. The next day, he did the same. Gradually, his habit of procrastination faded, and he became more disciplined. Months passed, and Ethan's hard work began to pay off. He caught up with his classmates and even started helping others who were struggling. He often thought of the wise old man and his advice. Ethan had learned the value of time and understood that each moment was an opportunity to grow and achieve something meaningful. Years later, when Ethan became a successful man, he would often return to the oak tree by the riverbank. Though he never saw the old man again, he felt immense gratitude for the life-changing lesson he had received. And now, Ethan would share that lesson with anyone who needed it, passing on the wisdom that had transformed his life.